Hello traders, this is Alla Peters, founder of Fibonacci Trading Institute. In this webinar, I will be teaching you how to optimize your brain health, your trading, your life. But first, very important disclaimer. Please understand that this is a required disclaimer that explains that every single thing you will see in this webinar is to educate you and empower you about your health and about your trading. I am RN. I have been developing trading software for the last 20 years. I have been empowering traders globally how to trade, how to be mentally and physically at ultimate peak performance. Nothing in this webinar constitutes a medical advice. Please contact your medical professional for your personal healthcare needs. And remember, all software shown as is, and no one had ever been paid for their testimonial. I hope you recognize that trading involves risk and that past performance is not indicative of future results. So briefly about myself. Most of you know me as founder of Fibonacci Trading Institute, Fibonacci Trading YouTube channel, and proprietary Alpha Fibonacci System. But I also hold degree as RN since 1995, working at Johns Hopkins Psychiatry. I am certified in online counseling, treating critical issues, depression, anxiety disorders, as well as obesity, because it all goes hand by hand. Since 2011, I have been focusing on traders. I have been working with traders from beginner to hedge fund manager. But since 1995, I had been coaching on peak performance and brain health. I present at major hedge fund conventions. I write, I teach, I mentor daily. And what you witness today is what I've been coaching in private coaching for 25 plus years. So this is briefly few photos in the last 2 years with traders I met. A couple of traders on this photo I met very recently. But this is the reason I live and breathe what I do, because when my incredible traders sending me invitation to their wedding and fly across the country just to meet with me, it is an honor to be at service to others. So when Jason sending me this email, this is a very important part that you do not see on Fibonacci Trading Institute website. As Jason shares, us working together has impacted his life in ways that cannot be measured. It started with gaining financial security, but most importantly, your passion for health and spiritual well-being provided clarity on my personal path, because this is a foundation of your financial success. So those of you who watching webinars, a recording, please remember, when you type in fibinstitute.com and you receive a pop-up window, request the invitation to our trading room, where you can see Alpha Fibonacci System in the live markets and where you can ask questions in the live trading room. So this is what this webinar is all about. The parts that you do not see on Fibonacci Trading Institute website, but the part that I discuss with my students in private coaching. That brain is the least known organ of the human body. Did you know that brain accounts for only 2% of the body weight, but it uses 20% of the total body energy? And it consumes 20% of the total oxygen and 20% of the entire body blood flow. Brain has a texture of a soft butter, brain housed in a very hard skull. So if you are here today and you are 70 years old and you never knew the most basic facts about your brain, you have a lot more to learn, because the health of your brain defines so much of your life. Brain is the fattest organ of the human body. Brain consists of 60% fat and 40% water. Brain at birth weighs 1 pound and increases to about 3 pounds with age. Brain starts forming at conception, absorbing parents' lifestyle and hormones. So if your parents are not very happy when your mom carrying you, brain absorbs all the stress, versus if your mom is very happy when carrying you and when there is peace and love at home, human being that's born with very happy brain. So the brain carries all the information since even before the birth. Did you ever think about that? That your trading reflects all that your brain carries since the moment you've been conceived. That your brain projects all informations into actions and into mindset. So everyone keeps hearing word mindset, but no one ever hears or speaks about brain. Brain health as a term does not exist. Mental health does. But has anyone heard of an organ that's called mental? It's a label. No one wants to talk about brain health, when brain as a fact, as an organ, does exist. And did you ever ask yourself a question? Why brain completely ignored across all health exams, when in fact brain is as important as your heart? Does anyone wants to be on this planet if your brain is not functioning well? But my goodness, has anyone heard about annual brain exam? Oops! Brain is the fattest organ of the human body. Consists of 60% fat and 40% water. We already reviewed this slide, so let's move forward, because much more important information ahead. Brain making 35,000 decisions per day. So think about it for a moment. If brain is not healthy, if brain is not at the ultimate capacity, can it operate the mindset? Brain is a hardware. Mindset is a software. But no one ever discussing how well does your brain operate. So when brain functions well, your mindset functions well. 35,000 decisions per day. So if brain not functioning well, mindset will not function well. Any discrepancy between brain health versus mindset will impact everything in life, in trading, in business, in relationships. Did you know that brain has waves? Everyone knows about heart EKG waves, but no one ever discussing brain waves. Do you know how important these are? Do you know the difference between beta, alpha, theta, delta, and gamma waves? Do you know the most important wave that you want to activate and constantly be in charge of, especially if you trade? The most important, most stable, ultimate vibration, alpha wave, is critical for trading. Negative events lower your alpha wave. Negative events increase stress vibration, beta wave. So let's take a look on the charts and let's think about this. This is a crisis since January 2020. Is anyone seeing horrific news on this chart? Or does anyone seeing and looking at the biggest vertical rally? On March 23rd, 2020, price was here at the start. Our incredible country, most of Europe and so many different countries in lockdown. In this trading room, we discuss with Alpha Fibonacci System. Crash setting up, January 2020. What do you see at the bottom? 2200 level. And when the price reaches 2200 level on March 23rd, 2020, there is no good news anywhere. There is fear, there is anxiety, there is panic. But on the chart, this is what Alpha Fibonacci system looks like each and every day. If you're working with your brilliant, intelligent alpha wave, which is how I named the very first strategy I developed, you understand extremely well. Crisis is opportunity for top 1%. This is how Alpha Fibonacci system identified stunning spectacular rally months in advance, all played out in this trading room. Country in lockdown and market is rallying. Those who are using junky system in complete disbelief. Those who operate spectacular proactive brain understand extremely well. This is institutional entry point. This is how institutions started buying the markets. No one cares about bearish news. 7-8 figure accounts entering position. Exact same companies who own news channels buying the market. My goodness, on the news is panic, on the news is anxiety, on the news is negativity, but market rallying viciously. This time around, when price reaches reversal zone, there is no sell-off, there is no crash. With Alpha Fibonacci system, you know months in advance, where institutions buying market again and again and again. Today, on September 15th, you are looking at biggest vertical rally that's doubled in value. But if you understand the importance of this formation, you understand why we're having this conversation today. Price reached historical institutional brick wall. In every live class, we discuss the events with institutional Alpha Fibonacci structure, because this is how price looked like before the historical crash. And what playing out right now had not played out in the last 13 years. Intelligent human being who is taking great care of alpha waves, not panicking, not listening to panic and negativity, understanding quite well beta waves, destroying your heart health, creating stress in your system. But no one ever discusses the importance of brainwaves. No one knows the difference between alpha, gamma, theta, delta. Unless, of course, you are a hedge fund trader. Unless, of course, you are top 1%. Brain makes the most decisions about its own health. Brain makes the most decisions about thoughts, memory, and speech. Most decisions about heart health. Brain defines our relationships, career, and wealth. But no one ever teaches about brain health. So what is the difference between wealthy versus poor mindset? Wealthy brain is proactive. Wealthy brain understands extremely well. When you reach ultimate success and you have no worry in the world, there are very few things that matter in life. Number one is your health. Wealthy brain prepares for crisis. Wealthy brain searches for solutions. Wealthy brain knows the power and danger of the news. Wealthy brain will forever be proactive, never ever ever reactive. Poor brain lives in denial. Poor brain always plays a blame game. Poor brain loves the news. Panic and negativity is a money-making machine. So I hope you learned very well the lesson of this crisis. Because those of you who have been shorting the markets, you have a lot to learn. Since March 23rd, 2020, every single trader who trades institutional Alpha Fibonacci system until a couple of weeks ago been buying markets at key institutional and day trading levels. Again, markets are changing in front of you. Again, intelligent trader understands and knows how to prepare and how to trade this historical formation. No panic, no negativity. This is proactive, strategic, intelligent trading. So this is S&P Mini Future. This is the event in the trading room this morning. This is a chart present in the trading room for weeks. This is what defines weakness when it comes to buyers. This is key level in front of you. So if I take you back to many days before market collapsed, I'm taking you back to September 7th. This is what charts look like. This is how you know everything in advance, no matter what chart you trade. strategic, intelligent trading. No speculation. No matter what chart you trade, you strategize in advance. You strategize ahead. You are not a gambler. You do not have reactive brain. This was a key for days, the end of the minor trend. But as we're discussing every single day, first time in 18 months, buyers are weak. And if I take you back to the events of this week, on top day trading instrument in US, this is what played out. 5-minute chart, all identified in advance. No speculation here, none are present. These are the events on S&P mini future this week. This is where we are again and again and again right now. This is bullish weakness. But if I take you back to identical event on Apple, this was Apple during the worst earnings in 13 years. I presented the biggest hedge fund convention, and what do I say? It's not about the worst earnings, it's about if this support will be respected or not. So when Apple doubles in value 2 years later, it's exact same thing you witness on S&P right now in front of you. And with the power of the system, you know where Apple heading to next. And with the power of the system, you know where reversal zone will be. And with the power of the system, you know where ultimate buy point on Apple will be. And when support is out and Apple in free fall, no one should be surprised. All precise. And that's the power of proactive brain. Because with Alpha Fibonacci system, you can trade it all. Because this is what system based on, pure price. So Goldman traders, JP Morgan traders whom I coach, do not chase junk indicators. Why do you? Price is what it's all about. This is Bitcoin daily. We will review today. But this is exact same thing on Euro. But this is exact same thing on Apple. And if I change it to S&P, to Nasdaq, to Dow, to anything you choose to trade, price is price. It's exactly the same. But if you are having a panic attack because you love your flash indicators, big news flash, they developed after price already made the move. And that's simplicity. And that's the power. With the help of a software, this is how simple markets are. And next, you will find out, and I will remind you, why it is so easy for 14-year-old to trade the system versus 50-year-old. Panic and negativity is the biggest money-making machine right now. You never hear good news on the news. You never hear that because it does not make money. Bad news does. So I hope you learned your lesson very well through this crisis by looking at the biggest historical rally in more than 100 years. Whilst you know the power of the news. And if you've been shorting this historical rally, you have a lot to learn. With a mindset of Usain Bolt, You are proactive human being. You're intelligent strategic trader because you understand that there is no such thing as now, lucky point, lucky trade. It's identical proactive brain that states clearly, I trained 4 years to run 9 seconds, and people give up when they don't see results in 2 months. Healthy brain, proactive brain. No gambling here. Time and time again. This is the reason I live and breathe what I do. This is a brilliant proactive brain. How is it possible that Steve knew where to exit Bitcoin before Bitcoin crash? Is it possible that he knows how to trade stocks, commodities, metals, and you were to exit Bitcoin before the crash? Steve is emergency room doctor. Steve knows what proactive brain does. Steve understands the power. Steve extremely well prepared for Bitcoin crash. Here's Bitcoin with brilliant proactive mind and brain with Alpha Fibonacci System, start of 2020. With the power of the system, you know many months ahead where to expect Bitcoin to reverse. So when Bitcoin reaches reversal zone and taking a major pause, it's a quiet before the storm. Global convention announced in Miami. 44,000 lifeline on Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin collapsing 65%, global Bitcoin convention in Miami does not mean much. And when Bitcoin skyrocketing from ultimate bottom, from reversal zone, this is the power of proactive trading. This is the power of proactive brain. Here's Bitcoin today. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Do you know what to do with your position on Bitcoin? Are you panicking? Are you speculating? Or are you trading like Steve? Brilliant, proactive human being who takes a fantastic, greatest care of his brain. Emergency room doctor had done just fine with Alpha Fibonacci system during crisis. Using identical mentality. So ask yourself, do you give up when you don't catch a lucky point in a couple of minutes? Or do you treat trading with respect? I coach my traders to start your own hedge fund. It's never about lucky point. It's about quality brain. It's about quality trading. Alpha brain science shows that health is wealth. There is no shortcut to wealth. No one ever became wealthy by grabbing random points, random trades, chasing indicators. So ask yourself a question. Have you been thinking as a wealthy, successful human being? Or have you been chasing shorts based on negative news? Healthy brain is proactive, prepares for health crisis, understanding quite well that our medical system is not prepared for crises. Not. Only 28% of Americans are on track for retirement. So if you're learning so much today, and if you're learning so much during this crisis, it's a very powerful and very clear message. You are in charge of your health. You are in charge of your money. Be proactive with your brain, with your health, with your money. Doctors can do only so much. So when I worked at Johns Hopkins with top doctors on the planet, the most humble doctors, what was a joke? We know much more about space than we know about human brain. And that's the fact. And what we're seeing with the current science confirms the exact same thing about human body. So be proactive, not reactive human being. Crisis is always around the corner. When you prepare well, you understand health is wealth. It's a base for your success. So imagine you are a very successful trader and you have anything and everything you wished for. Would you ever chase cheap indicators? Would you have poor man mindset? Would you chase junky systems? Would you chase random multiple trades? Would you eat and drink the worst food on the planet that destroys your brain power? Or are you changing your perception of life and trading completely? This crisis is a lesson on the difference between proactive versus reactive brain. Wealthy brain, always proactive, always prepared for the next crisis, as you witnessed again and again and again. Markets doubled in value. We do not have good news. World setting up for another extreme few months. So if you are thinking, living and breathing as successful trader does, you're taking a great care of your brain, of your mind, of your body, because that's base for your financial success. So why in the world is it so easy for Dominic to trade? His father, Andy, hedge fund manager in London, brought Dominic to the course. Do you ever ask yourself a question? How is it possible that children I coach, I mentor, children of hedge fund managers, right out of the gate think trading is the easiest thing on the planet? Dominic's father, Andy, trading Alpha Fibonacci System long term. Because Dominic does not have 50 years of baggage, does not have polluted brain, does not worry about financial stress. Brain of 14-year-old is drastically more pure than brain of 50-year-old. So if you missed the start of this webinar, let me remind you, your brain carries it all since before you were even born. So if your brain had been nurtured with love, care, and health, you're at ultimate capacity, you're prepared for financial success. But if not, it's a problem. No ifs and buts. 14-year-old has drastically more pure brain than 30-year-old, than 40-year-old. 14-year-old Dominic knows quite well the power of this. Pure price for entry and Alpha Fibonacci for exit. So please come to the website and listen to our podcast channel, where you can listen to traders from all over the world. But it is extremely clear. Children I coach and mentor sees markets in the most pure eyes. No fear, no baggage, no junk indicators clogging Dominic's mind. And that's ultimate reminder, the power of your pure brain versus not. Do not overcomplicate trading. If Dominic could do it, so can you. Stop thinking with poverty mindset. Stop carrying your past into your present. Stop bringing your financial stress, your personal issues into your trading. With Alpha Fibonacci System, you can do this. Most people never think about their brain health. Brain health is not on the list of the regular health exams, unless it's a self-pay executive exam. My goodness. When I work with doctors who are in their 60s and 70s, they're blown away by this concept. They're in shock. How come no one ever has annual brain exam? Did you know that it costs at least $8,500 to do? On average, $25,000. So how is it possible? Brain, which is equally as important as your heart, probably had never been examined. But if you go to the doctor with a major issue, oops, you're gonna get a pill, no problem. And that's what you will see next. So start understanding much more about the power of your brain, the power of your health, and how deficient our system is when it comes to human brain. If you go to the doctor and you say, I have hip pain, I have elbow pain, I have shoulder pain, doctor is not going to give you any drug until doctor will x-ray your body parts. But 100 plus years ago, when Lincoln went to psychiatrist and said, I'm depressed, I'm suicidal, Lincoln got a pill. Exact same thing happening right now. I worked with patients. I know this. Patient comes to the doctor and says, I'm depressed, I'm suicidal, I have PTSD. That patient never gets a brain examined. That patient gets a pill. How is it possible? So food for thought. Because when I work with doctors, they're stunned and shocked. It never crossed their minds. But it does cross mind of the wealthiest people on the planet, who always pay for their annual exams. Clinics all over US charging a lot of money to do that for you. But your insurance will never cover annual brain exam. Unless, of course, it's absolutely extreme case or tragic accident. That's the only exception. So that's another powerful reminder to take a great care of your brain. Because in the current healthcare environment, it is the most ignored organ of human body. Brain-related problems affect 200 million Americans. Americans at only 5% of the world population, consuming 60% of the psychiatric drugs in the world. Most of these drugs given based on questions only, without any brain exam. So if you take a pause, I don't blame you. This is simply a fact. Which again reminds you, you're in charge of your health. You're in charge of your brain. No one else is. Our healthcare built for extreme crisis. And that's the fact you're witnessing during current crisis. So what are the factors that hurt brain health? Low magnesium in 80+% of Americans. If I would ever take any supplement, it's going to be magnesium. 100,000%. Absence of magnesium can cause anxiety, insomnia, multiple body malfunctions. Your brain depends on magnesium. So is your nervous system. So is vitamin D. Low magnesium, disrupted circadian rhythms, insomnia. Absolutely. 70% of Americans have difficulty sleeping. More than likely contribute to magnesium absence of very low levels. Very similar thing when it comes to vitamin D. 50% of Americans short on vitamin D, which is leading to brain fog and depression. And third most important ingredient, low omega-3 index in 85% of Americans, leading to deficit in concentration, focus, and decision-making process. So question for you. Do you know your magnesium level? Do you know your vitamin D level? When have last time you checked your omega-3 level? And that's key minerals that impacting your brain function and reflected in your decision-making process when it comes to trading. Over 140 medical studies report as weight goes up to overweight and obese, size of the account and brain function goes down. If you look at the poorest zip codes in US, obesity is skyrocketing. Accounts at the banks collapsing. Did you ever know that overweight people have only 4% of their brain volume and their brains look 8 years older? Did you know that obese people have 8% of their brain volume and their brain looks 16 years older? Did you know that overweight people have much less activity in their frontal lobes, which are involved in empathy and multiple decision making and impulse control? No one ever educates humanity about these most basic facts. But what's important to recognize? Every single piece of the processed food you put into your body takes months and years to develop. It's the biggest drug on the planet. The ingredients in the food that develop obesity and overweight bodies designed to function as drug. It's addiction. So if God forbid you're running to the store and buying food in plastic bags, oops, it's loaded processed foods. It's impacting your brain. It's impacting your trading. It's impacting every single 35,000 decisions you make every single day. The amount of data I have is shocking and staggering, and this is one of the reasons I'm doing this webinar. This is the reason I'm here with you. Because this is the biggest crisis that impacting every single one of us. Obesity is a serious national crisis which impacts your brain health. After the age of 80, 50% of Americans will have Alzheimer's or Parkinson. In the next 5 years, we will not have anyone to enlist into our military. Processed food is addiction, which creates inflammation of the body, which leads to the inflammation of the brain. Americans are 75% overweight, 42% are obese. So if you've been dying to short the markets because country in lockdown, if you've been dying to jump on negative news and you are glued to panic and negativity, ask yourself a question. Is the same food that's served at the Oscars or after Super Bowl parties or at the biggest parties in the Hamptons? Look at this chart. This is health. This is happiness. This is proactive brain. Despite our country being locked down, no one in their clear mind shorted this rally. This is intelligent, strategic decision making. The way you make one decision is the way you make every decision. You want to become top 1%. You want to become top 5% of the most successful human beings in this country and this world. You start recognizing 19% in US controlling 19 companies controlling all the food market. Majority of it is a processed food. Majority of it is a drug that impacting every single decision you make, including your money management, your trading, including current COVID crisis. What you put in your gut goes directly to your brain. And here comes very important part. I work with Steve right now, one of my dearest clients. Steve, 70-year-old doctor. Pure joy, pure honor for me to work with Steve. And what does he say? What do you see? Do you see crisis in his email I received yesterday? Of course not. Steve is a very happy human being. He changed everything in his life ever since we started working together. And he is much happier human being with a whole new, vibrant, high energy life. I do want to be sure to continue with the plan. That's it. That's the reason why we're here today. First time ever, I bring this to the group. That it is essential to understand. Besides processed food, this is a factor that hurt your brain health. Head trauma. If God forbid you were a little baby and your mama dropped you or your head was hit somewhere, your brain may not be at ultimate capacity. Any smallest concussion is a problem. Do you see the event of what just happened on Capitol Hill? It's tragic. What happens when someone's head is hit? Please ask to image, to see what's happening with your brain. If there is smallest chance your head was ever hit, you want to be proactive. You do not want to be reactive. You do not want to sustain major illnesses, which of course will impact your trading. Alcohol shrinks brain size. Those who drink even 4 or 5 glasses per week have drastically smaller brain than those who don't. Drugs, marijuana, drastically slows down brain function. Stress, capital letters. With age, neuroplasticity collapses. With age, your brain can take only so much crisis. No matter how much we know, you must prepare for the next stressful event. Social isolation in current environment is extremely dangerous for your brain. Studies that came out from Israel showing isolation and loneliness equivalent to smoking 2.5 packs of cigarettes per day. Unhealthy relationships not good for your brain. Absence of physical exercise and poor sleep not good for your brain. Your brain needs rest. Your brain making 35,000 decisions a day. So please understand and protect your brain. And remember, being at the healthy weight is critical for your brain health. And other studies that came out when a group of very violent prisoners who are committed for life were fed a good diet, were fed a plant-based diet, violence stopped. Exact same study, massive number of studies were done in Australia in a zip code that has very large fast food sections versus not. There is no comparison in health. There is no comparison in violence. It's impacting how your brain functions. Your gut is your second brain, lined with 100 million neurons. Did you know that? Your brain and your gut are interconnected. Nutritional psychiatry is a brand new field. And this is what you're witnessing here now. All stress expressed via gut and your brain health. So if you're putting more chemicals into your body, if you're looking at the label and you don't know what it is, you should probably not touch that, because your brain would not benefit from chemicals. It's a drug. Understand that extremely important part. If you are surrounded by multiple screens, by phones, by TVs, it's not good for your brain. Your brain needs rest. Your brain needs detox from light. There are ways you can protect yourself from blue light, and it's not something I can discuss in this webinar. We're already far and above our time. So if you're understanding how clearly important and crucial your brain health is, please do not touch white powder foods, white flour processed, white sugar processed, white salt. Eat this as condiments only. Protect your brain from head trauma. Don't do drugs. Don't use more than minimum alcohol. Exercise and sweat regularly. And that's the most basic steps you can do to improve your brain health. With brain healthy diet, you're protecting yourself from environmental toxins. You're balancing out key minerals, omega-3, magnesium, vitamin D. Your healthy social circle is a must. If you're surrounded by healthy, proactive human beings, more than likely you are one of them. But if you are not, if you're in circles that jeopardizes brain health, more than likely those would be exactly the results. So if you have your spiritual core and you know your why, you're on the path to brain health. And that's the reason I live and breathe what I do. First time ever, all I teach, all I coach in private coaching, I bring up to you. As each and every time I see, healthy relationship is the key. Some of my happiest, most successful students are in the most incredible relationships, have the most incredible families. This is alpha wave. This is alpha brain. This is basis for the healthy brain. The way you choose your partner is the way you choose your trade. You are using exact same brain. And that's what I see each and every time. So when you come to the website and you listen to the podcast, this is a path of strategic, intelligent trader who didn't chase a random point, who didn't chase a random trade, who strategized and started with demo account. Only after doubling demo account, Richard started trading live. Retired physical therapist, making 4 times what he was making before. And here Richard, few months later, reached account 37,000, working mornings only. Proactive brain, proactive life, proactive health, proactive trading. Richard's brain making brilliant, intelligent decisions. And this is the reason I bring up to your attention, first time in 11 years, Alpha Brain Annual Trading Bootcamp, November 1st through November 12th, Monday through Friday, from 9:15 EST, on average for 3 hours. All of this will be playing out during live markets. So when you come to the website fibinstitute.com, this is very important part. First time ever annual Alpha Brain Fibonacci Trading Bootcamp, November 1st through November 12th, included at no cost whatsoever to our new students only. This is a lifetime system for any platform or lifetime software for Ninja 8 with group course, with private mentoring, video library available to you. Again, bootcamp details here. And when you click on the details here, you will see the value of $3,000 is included to very few new students and graduates. Please contact me personally. This is what will be playing out during November 1st to 12th. Focus on trading when markets are active. When markets are not active, we will focus on your brain. So while you're learning proprietary Alpha Fibonacci trading system with multi-market scanner and trade recognition software with a proprietary Alpha Fibonacci tool, and you think and trade as hedge fund trader does, we will be focusing as well on how to detox, optimize your brain as hedge fund traders do. How to eat a brain healthy diet, how to reduce stress, anxiety, enhance sleep, relaxation, improve your mood, concentration, your response to the current crisis. How to remove metals from your diet that impacting your brain. How to lower environmental toxins, balancing your key minerals. How to focus more, cultivate flow state, and focus consistently, not just in bursts. How to find mental clarity to define and sharpen your ideas. If you have any questions for me, please do not hesitate to contact me. But always and forever, The most important part on the website, what traders do globally. So many of our graduates joining us again and again and again, read and view emails under students' performance and student reviews, and listen to traders' podcasts, because there are so many of these traders who are just like you. Struggled with trading so much before, not anymore. It doesn't matter if it's options, it doesn't matter if it's stocks, it doesn't matter if it's futures. Alpha Fibonacci system applies. System traded globally on all instruments, all accounts, all platforms. So please read, listen, and review. And when you are ready, join us, and you will explore the science behind your brain's neuroplasticity. I will teach you how to harness your brain power, how to change the way your brain functions positively, how to impact your life to live happier and healthier life in any crisis. We will cover science-supported tools for enhancing focus, sleep, brain, and immune health, how to lower brain's exposure to blue light, how to remove metals from your diet, how to lower environmental toxins, how to balance out key minerals. And that's the core of the bootcamp. Science-supported tools on how to relax, rebalance your brain, reduce anxiety and stress, how to optimize your brain, eat healthy brain diet, enhance sleep and relaxation, and key part, science-supported tools to improve your mood, your concentration, activate your alpha brain waves, and how to lower your beta brain waves, how to detox your brain. So again, if you are new to Fibonacci Trading Institute and you are joining us currently with 4 packages available to you, Alpha Brain Trading Bootcamp value of 3,000 is included to you. If you are a graduate, please contact me for a special invoice. If you are a graduate, you do not have to pay $3,000. Please, you know me extremely well. I'm here to help. It's been my honor to be here with you. If you are joining us, it will be an event you will never forget. We are in historical market. Any questions for me? Do not hesitate to contact me. 925-257-4298 or info@fibinstitute.com. Thank you so much, everyone.